Okay, everybody, here we go. It is me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Wednesday, June 28th, 2023. You ever hear someone say, or the saying that goes something like this, that the truth is stranger than fiction? Well, we're getting that today. Our lovely, beautiful man, illustrious thing sitting behind the Resolute desk wants you to know that he has declared victory on the economy. Oh yes, our economy is booming. We're doing fantastic. You can't make this stuff up. If you try to, what's actually going on right now? The middle class is being squeezed to death. The average guy, the average girl is carrying their highest debt burden in history. Foreclosures on homes are skyrocketing. Debt defaults are skyrocketing. People can't make ends meet. Inflation at what is it? A 4 decade high. The yield curve, the most inverted that we've ever seen in history. Every leading economic indicator pointing towards situation that's going to get a lot worse moving forward. I mean, we could go on and on and on here. A wipeout of what was the backbone of the United States, and that is small businesses to fulfill the corporate agenda. But our illustrious president wants you to know that he has declared victory because it's his economic policies. Remember that he was crossing his fingers that the Federal Reserve would give us a soft landing here. The rest of the world and the United States right now are already in recession, okay? And this is going to get much, much worse. You all know that. So, I mean, what our illustrious president is also touting here is the stock market. This is a typical tactic that is done by presidents. We always see this. Oh, look at the stock market. That means our economy is doing well. No, there's no connection here at all. None at all. Stock market, economy, this gap keeps getting larger and larger. You know that. And it doesn't stop. Now, here's another piece of interesting news here. Well, first of all, the trade deficit in May is $91 billion. Oh, that's great. Maybe he should take credit for that, too, as well. And debts and everything else keeps just expanding at a pace that we've never seen before. Now, this is something I want you to pay attention to. We understand that months ago, and we covered it right here, that the banks, first of all, they're in a lot of trouble. They're in all kinds of trouble. And I'm not talking about just the regional banks here. Remember, no deposits, no loans, and no deals. Well, with regard to the no loans and no deals, several months ago, the banks started loosening how they, well, actually what they've done is kind of go back to what they've done almost to the subprime mortgage collapse, or that whole thing that led us, the world, into the Great Recession here. So these institutions here are making it easier for no income, no assets, no money down loans for people to buy homes. Well, on the back of this, so we're seeing apparently a demand for home loans pick up again on the back of no assets, no income. No money down. And some of them are even touting no credit checks. Does this sound familiar to you? So what would you expect? Again, we know, you and I, that unfortunately people are irresponsible. And we're already seeing home loan defaults skyrocket. Home repossession starting to pick up again. I mean, car loans and credit card debt and everything. It's out of control. But what else would you expect in this kind of an environment? And they're forcing people, or they're making it easier for people to enslave themselves. Again, forget about mortgaging their home. They're mortgaging themselves. When you get yourself into a situation where you become a slave to your lender, it's a very, very bad situation for you. Sure, we're going to sell you this today at this price, but you're going to pay multiples for it higher in the future. But this is a setup for, again, a massive problem. Now, the banks are getting a little desperate here, and this is where they're offering these no credit check loans, no income verification. I mean, it's incredible. It's exactly what we were seeing last time. It's just a setup for a disaster in my view. And again, we have these same institutions, these banks here that are dealing with these commercial real estate issue that's going to blow up. There's no doubt it's going to blow up in everybody's face, including you and me, because we are the ones that are going to be forced to bankroll it. I mean, do you have any doubt at all? Zero? I'm sure that these banks, look, they're all doing the same things here. Nothing has ever been fixed. And with regard to derivative exposure, I mean, it's unfreaking believable. People, the top three banks, we're talking about Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Citigroup, over $152 trillion worth of derivative exposure just to these top three banks. It's going to end extremely badly, and I think we're all well aware of that. What we're going to have here, there's no doubt in my mind, and I want to hear from you. Gauging from, again, just going back like almost a year ago when we discussed it before anybody else, banks were in trouble because of what? No loans, no deals. And that's a major problem here. Now, we're starting to see all this other stuff come to light: derivative exposure, commercial real estate. The banking system itself, and I wrote this down this morning, a system-wide banking collapse or crisis is going to hit us again. There's just no doubt in my mind. And again, it's part of what they need to do to dismantle the system and then put the system back together again in a way that they want to consolidate power, something you and I have spoken about, I don't know for how freaking long right now, but that's what they're doing here. So you can expect another worldwide banking crisis, and you and I are going to be on the hook to bail this whole thing out again. I mean, where's our loving, caring representatives? Why aren't they doing anything? Because, again, they're part of the problem. You do realize that, right? Every empire, if you want to go back as far as you want to go in history, falls for the same reasons, and it's corruption is number one. And I think we've never seen levels of corruption. And just to prove that, I mean, we got our illustrious thing, Bidenstein, declaring victory on an economy that's melting down. The economy is in meltdown mode, not just here in the United States, but around the world. But this freak wants you to believe, well, that he's declared victory because it's his economic policies right now. So you can't make this stuff up. Anyway, you got stock futures at the time I am doing this. Trading doesn't start for about 34 minutes here. Stock futures are slightly in the red. All right. You got the relative strength of the dollar stronger. You got the 10-year yield stable. You got cryptocurrencies under some pressure. Gold and silver under some pressure. You got crude oil under some pressure today. That's the story for the market open. But that's all well and good. You know what I always say, markets go up and markets go down. But with regard to this other stuff that we discuss, I mean, you can't make it up. It's impossible to do. Are you surprised to hear that it is declaring victory? Could you imagine? I mean, there are some people that are going to buy it. Believe me, every single time I talk bad or I say something negative about our illustrious, beautiful man of a president sitting behind the Resolute desk, I get hammered. Oh, Greg, you don't know. Biden's a good guy. He's trying to do the right thing. Really? Honestly? Look, none of them are. And none of them run the economy anyway. For those of you that are falling into that trapdoor that believe it really matters who sits behind the Resolute desk, then you have no clue at all, zero, as to what is going on. It's the banks. It's the central banks who run the show. They control the flow of information. They control the economy. They control the financial markets. They control the financial system. So they control the world collectively. Yes, we have a one world government today, and it's run by the central banks. The rest of it, this is why our loving, caring representatives can't do a damn thing, all right? They're just there as a freak show to try to make you think that you and I have some kind of a voice, for which we do not. Anyway, that's the story today, people. Nothing else going on here. It's just fantastic and lovely, and I do want to hear from you on these kinds of things here. Do you believe, like I do, that again, this issue, which has already begun with the regional banks, is going to grow and grow and grow and encompass the larger banks as well. And we are clearly, I mean, look, I really have no doubt that we're going to see a system-wide, worldwide crisis of the banks again. And this is engineered because, again, they're going to dismantle the current system to put together a new system to consolidate power. You know exactly what I'm talking about. At least I hope you do. All right, anyway, people, that's it for this morning. Sometimes I get really disgusted, but when I hear that our illustrious thing is declaring victory on the economy, meanwhile people are hurting, I mean more so than they ever have, that bothers me. Except for, of course, the well-off and the rich. They couldn't be doing better than they ever have. They're just doing beautifully while everybody else is getting destroyed. Imagine my shock. Imagine your shock. All right, I will see all of you live, 1:05 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Please share the video. Please comment. Those thumbs up are extremely valuable. All right, I'll see you later.